Hey familia, Igni here and welcome back to Shadowverse. The new expansion has been announced! Starforged Legends! Set to release 28th of this month, 28th of September. So that's exciting, and I know I'm a bit late on this video, sorry about that. The expansion was announced a couple days ago, but I've been busy. I'm back now, trying to get the ball rolling again on videos and streams, so thanks for bearing with me. And today we're just going to be starting off by reviewing the cards that have been revealed so far, starting out here with Mr. Full Moon, a 6 play point neutral bronze, 3/3. Fanfare randomly changes the attack of one of the strongest enemy followers in play to 1. So obviously, first thing you think of is that this is an Aegis counter. So that should appease some of the players who have been complaining about Aegis for the longest time. Aegis is not really a super high win rate deck in Masters, but I understand that in lower ranks it's super annoying to play against because it often punishes decks that are unfinished. Because, you know, an unanswerable threat is kind of hard to deal with if your collection is a bit lacking and you can't build the most optimized decks. This can also be used against stuff like Bahamut later on in the game, although I have to question how effective a 3/3 stat line for 6 is. So it is a bit pricey for the stat line, but the effect could be good as a tech card in controlling decks. And just as an aside, I'm really a big fan of the design direction this is going, that you can now have more interesting deck building decisions to counter other playstyles, rather than just, you know, putting the most efficient stat line for the cost into that cost slot. So I really like the fact that this tech card exists. I like the fact that Aegis finally has a counter. I like that when cards have counters. I don't like uncounterable threats. How effective this is, we'll have to see. I think it could see play in some control decks depending on the meta, but I'm not sure how effective control will be as long as D-Shift is still a thing that can pretty easily be done. So yeah, we'll see, but I definitely like the direction that the game's going with cards like this. The next card we're talking about is Perseus, a 1 play point 1/2 gold swordcraft commander with no effect unevolved, but it evolves with full stats and also gains +1 attack and ward if there are at least 4 allied swordcraft followers in play. So the first thing that jumps to mind is that this is a super cheap commander, and that can help activate a lot of your swordcraft synergies like Centaur Vanguard. And back in Wonderland Dreams, people were a little worried about the state of Swordcraft's identity because of, you know, how powerful a lot of the neutral package was with Sword. And this can help facilitate the commander synergies, really defines their class. And I like that a lot, so you can play this and then Centaur Vanguard, or it also works with Gawain because it's a cheap follower, although I don't know how much you want to be reducing a 1 play 1 follower to. But for example, if you play a turn 4 Gawain, and evolve it and hit, and you have Perseus and Otohime in hand, you can then play Otohime Perseus and then evolve the Perseus for quite a hefty board. So that's another interesting interaction. I also really like the fact that it's a cheap activator for a lot of those cards that require a commander to be on board, but a lot of the time the commanders were too expensive and clunky for those cards to really see play, because you have to play them effectively both in the same turn, because you can't really count on the commander staying on board for that long. So I really like the fact that it's a 1 play point commander. I think it's going to open up a lot of interesting deck building possibilities for Sword, and I want to see where it goes. As an aside though, I'm a little bit disappointed that Perseus doesn't interplay with Medusa at all, just because of, you know, mythology's sake, but yeah. I like the card. Now on to the first legendary that's been revealed here, the Zodiac Demon, 7 play point 5/5, neutral legendary. Love the card art, Space Jail Demon, super cool. Fanfare, put a follower that originally cost 7 play points or less from your hand into play and destroy it. Deal X damage to a random enemy follower. If no enemy followers are in play, deal X damage to the enemy leader instead. X equals the attack of the destroyed allied follower. So it's kind of like a one-off support cannon for any follower that costs 7 or less when you play it. So the class that comes to mind for the most synergies with this card so far is obviously Shadow, because of powerful last words effects. You can get this out on, not Mordecai, but you can use it on Dark Alice for an instant 5/5 on board, and also, you know, thinning your deck for the neutral cards that you want to finish the game with, or for stuff like Tessa Strength if you want to lock them down. Although I don't know if that's a bit of a meme or what have you, but it could be good in getting that out. Also just in general, using it to proc powerful last words effects, Cowie, you know, Hell's Unleashed, although that's not really as good because the attack is so low. But you know what I mean. So definitely Shadow has the most energy with this so far. Thinking about other cards, you can also just use big beat sticks, Beast Dominator, Frenzied Juggernaut to hit face or hit board very hard. Thinking about interesting synergies of this, maybe in Dragon you could use it to play with Pyroxene Dragon to deal 3 and also gain 3 cards. That could be pretty great. So I like the idea of this card a lot, because as you can see, it's already opened up a lot of interesting, you know, avenues for deck development, and lots of ideas can come into your head. We'll have to see if any other classes get support with this card. One thing that I heard that I'm not sure if it works or not, if you play Worm God, get it to die, and then play Zodiac Demon on a Dragoncraft follower, according to the wording, if I'm not mistaken, the attack should be doubled, and Zodiac Demon should hit for double also. But I'm not sure about the interaction, but I just thought that was kind of cool. Somebody pointed that out. Yeah, we'll have to see if other classes get support for this card, but definitely like the design because it really opens up a lot of interesting, you know, possibilities and really gets the mind going on what can I use this with. And I think that's cool. Next card here is another legendary, Venomfang Medusa, another form of Medusa. Fanfare, summon a serpent at the start of your turn if at least 2 allied serpents are in play. 2 serpents combine to become Medusiana. Oh, and it evolves also summons a serpent. So you can have this one card summon 2 serpents, potentially, on your evolve turn. And the serpents are a 1/1 token with no effect, and they merge together to become Medusiana, which is a 8 play point legendary here. Rush Bane, can attack up to 3 times per turn. 1/7 that evolves to a 3/9. That is pretty fearsome, so can really just clean up the board like nothing else. Now, the Serpent is a bronze token, so I'm not sure if Medusa is going to be the only card that generates it. If it isn't, and there are other cards that generate the Serpent, this card could be just bonkers. But, as it is, I actually think it's not a bad 4-drop at all. It's a lot worse going first than going second, because going first, you play it, you get a 3/3, you get a 1/1, then the enemy blows you out with a Larial that just trades super cleanly. But if you're going second, you can summon 2 1/1s and a 5/5 in one card, and already that's a lot of value. And they have to deal with the serpents, and if they deal with the serpents, they don't deal with the Medusa, potentially. So this could actually be a pretty solid 4-drop, especially going second, and if you can get the Medusiana effect off, of course, that's just nuts. Next up is a 5 play point, 5/4 follower for Forest, Ipiria. Fanfare, gain ambush until the end of your opponent's turn. It's a little bit strange. Seems sort of just like a big beat stick for Forest, which is sort of clunky, especially in combo-based decks. I don't know how good this is going to be in tempo either, because it just sort of is a big thing that doesn't do anything. You don't really want to evolve it either, because it takes it out of ambush. I don't know. Maybe it could be like a beat stick to connect for aggro Forest, but it seems sort of underwhelming. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about this card. There's not much to say about it. It just seems like, I mean, it's hard to see the application for it. I'm not super impressed. Not sure where this is gonna fit. I don't know. I'm trying to think, and I just don't really have anything to say. Gain ambush until the end of your opponent's turn, so it can help you connect to the face or to the board, but it's on an evolve turn. It doesn't have an evolve effect, and it just seems sort of underwhelming. Maybe I'm just missing something here. I don't know. Let me know what you think. What can this card be used for? Because I'm just drawing a blank right now. And finally, Star Torrent, the Silver Haven card, and the last card of the day here. Deal 1 damage to all enemy followers. Subtract 1 from the countdown of all allied amulets. Got there in the end. Woo! It's been quite a day. So, it's kind of like Angelic Barrage, but you sacrifice the 1 damage to face to instead have subtract 1 from the countdown of all allied amulets. This could be an interesting effect in Seraph decks, and now Seraph has more amulet reducers than it already has, and it already had a lot. This could be interesting with some of those removal amulets. So, for example, somebody brought this up. Forbidden Ritual plus Star Torrent means that you banish everything with 3 or less health, essentially, but that's sort of a niche combo for 5. I'm not sure how effective that'll be. This is definitely going to punish Medusa players with these snakes getting wrecked by Star Torrent now, but, I think the countdown reducing effect can actually be pretty good, right? Especially since you're also having an effect on board. Like, a lot of these countdown reducers don't really have a big effect on board. Like, for example, Sister Initiate is just like a small body. Hello Dogma is just a spell. I think I'm just biased because I've actually been running Harnessed Glass in my decks lately, just to punish bat players and to punish sword players. So, maybe I have these glasses on. I'm just like seeing this in a more positive light. Like, I'm like, oh, 1 damage to everything. That's so good against all these Oathless Knights I'm seeing on ladder. But yeah, we'll see. I think it's an interesting card, and I might see play. But I'm not entirely sold. And that's it! That's all the cards that have been officially revealed so far! Of course, those are just my thoughts on the new cards. Let me know what you think. Am I wrong? Am I right? Did I miss something? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We'll have the comments be a sort of discussion area for these new cards, as well as just, you know, what do you hope for this new expansion in general. Stay tuned, I'll be reviewing the cards as they come out, and that's going to be super exciting. We're now in the spoiler season of the next expansion, so to get the hype train going, boys. By the way, I'm sorry that I've been away for a couple days. Like I said, I was super busy for the past few days, but I'm back now. I should be a lot more free. So hopefully we can kick things back up again. Get hype for more content from me in the future. Unless you don't like me, in which case then don't, I guess. That's okay. Like the video if you did, don't if you didn't, subscribe for more Shadowverse content in the very near future, and of course, thank you to my wonderful patrons, patreon.com/Ignideus. If you want to help support the channel as well, I would highly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.